In Chicago, there are so many stories to be told, so many perspectives of life in this city. And here's one you need to know about. The West Side has gone through so many changes in its makeup. What was originally known for funneling newly freed Black migrators from the South away from the wealthier lakeside neighborhoods and central business districts. Even though the system attempted to keep Black families impoverished, there is a story of empowerment through the eyes of the Jefferson family on the West Side.
Hey guys, it's Allie, and you know what we do here on Need to Know? We talk all things intrigue. And here I am with the most intriguing person of all, Angelica, affectionately known as Jelly. And today we are here on the west side of Chicago.
No, not the west side, it's out west Illinois.
Out west Illinois. And Jelly's gonna tell us about her life here, out west. So tell us a little bit about your community.
So this is my community, this is my home, that's my aunt home, that's my grandmother's home, that's my uncle home, and that's actually my last home. Well, that's where I used to live. But out west, you got the entrepreneurs, you got the hustlers, you got the money getters, you got the gang bangers. But we all a family, is one community out here. What they doing in here, for real, for real. So growing up out here, it was always fun because it was nothing but family and love and all my cousins. This actually used to be open right here.
When they put this here?
I don't even know when this got here. They fixed things right here, but they put this here when they made the Johnny ice hockey thing for the Blackhawks.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they put this up, and we were so confused on why, because you used to be able to drive through.
What?
Yeah, it's like they cut us
I guess
out
they
from the city.
separated y'all from the city.
Yep.
Well, I think it's nice that your family is just back to back to back like this. Like to have your uncle right here, your old house right here, your house that you are currently living in, and then your auntie and your grandma all on one block.
Yep, if you ever ran out of anything, you could just go next door. Hey, I need sugar, I need black pepper. Whatever you need. It's good to have your family around, especially this close.
That's amazing.
Even my mom grew up here, so my grandma's 90, so at least 80 years. 80 years.
Y'all going on 100-year spree on one block.
Yeah.
Every house. That's what I'm talking about.
For sure.
Who can we talk to really find out the dirty, real story about this neighborhood?
You know what? My grandmother. She knows everything. She's seen everything. She lived here with her mother and then bought this home with her husband, so she can tell you way more than I could tell you.
Who bought that first house?
I'm not for sure who bought it, but I'm thinking it was my granddaddy, because they was always entrepreneurial, and then he used to work for Dunkin' Donut at the warehouse, and we used to have to get up in the morning and go, because everybody lived in that one house. My mom, my dad, and then my grandmother, my grandfather, uncles, everybody was crunched up in one house. And so I think that was the thing, because everybody probably had to give, to put in. So I'm thinking that was the case, but I'm sure it was my granddad. And I think that's what I saw growing up. And then they was hustlers. They was always selling something, like people. And my grandmother, like I said, they started a restaurant. I don't know who purchased it, but they did do that. She purchased it herself? Okay, because she did, right. Okay.
I think that's amazing though, to have such a close-knit family community and to pass on generational wealth with home ownership. That's something that you don't see every day.
No, that's why I'm super grateful for my family for setting that up and, keeping it going. So something I could pass down to my child and my child. And plus, our family was known for a lot of things. So these houses and the home ownership is just one thing they're passing down, but it's so many other things that they're passing down. So then so they bought the houses, and so now we got grandma's house, and then we got great grandma's house, and then now me growing up, I grew up next door. And so we had that house, and then I know we was renting this house. How did you come about even buying your house? We know grandma came from Mississippi, then how did you? And then how did that impact our family and the community with us just buying all these houses and growing up together?
That house caught on fire, they rebuilt, and my dad decided at that time, I'm gonna purchase the house for us. Because we were living with my grandma, and he purchased, and at that time the house was $5,000. That's what he paid for that house.
$5,000 for a house?
Yes, $5,000. And he bought that house for $5,000.
Because I'm trying to get a house for $5,000. I'm trying to get a house for my family too. $5,000 is a good price.
Yeah.
It sure is a damn good price.
I was a teen mom, and I decided that I wanted to get away and do my own. So I lived in public housing. I went to move in public housing, and public housing, it was just coming back and forth, the gangs, the drugs. And I decided at that point, hey, I don't want to raise my kids up in this, even though it was right down the street. Like my mom was right down the, that houses were here, the projects was there. When I want to say development, but that's what they called them back then. And so what happened is that
that's a different story for me. Cause
go ahead.
I love gambling.
So you was with the gangbangers rolling dice and stuff?
No, I didn't shoot no.
You didn't shoot no dice?
I didn't lose too much money in no dice game, but I played. They had a game called Georgia Sin.
It's called Georgia Sin?
And Tunk, she loved to play. She loved to play Tunk.
Pity pat, that's my game.
And Keno, these are the things they did with
Tunk, Pity Pat,
Keno.
Keno.
Yes.
These are card games?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, y'all gonna have to teach me, because I need to know.
I'll be glad to teach you.
Thank you.
It started with my grandmom. She used to love the barbecue. She used to love to cook. And so I think that was one of the things. I think also in our family, they loved to gamble. And so they would have these gambling come together. People knew them like they were gambling. And we used to have to leave the house when they would gamble because kids couldn't be around adults, like different now. And they used to make us like, hey, give us money to go to the movies. And I think with Super Sundays, you can use, back then you could have a transfer. You could ride the bus all day on Super Sunday. So that was exciting to us as a kid. And we were able to go to the movies. And I don't know if people familiar, but the Mac Victors, Downtown, Treasure Chest. And this is the kind of life that I remember. The movies, Treasure Chest, the video games.
That was what was going on at that time.
Right, that was absolutely.
But times definitely changed because you said that they didn't allow y'all at the table, but then my grandma taught me how to gamble.
Right.
And she let me come to the table and I gambled with everybody, all grown folks. They was 50, 60, I could go get $10. And my mom was like, you can't go over there and gamble. I sneak in there, my grandma gonna watch my back, and I come out with some good money. So times definitely changed.
There's always been a legacy of activism on the West Side. So many incredible individuals contributed to this changing community. Nancy B. Jefferson is one of those individuals, and her descendants continue to maintain that legacy.
What about the legacy of Nancy? You know how she got the post office around the corner?
Now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they named that post office after her.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yes, the one right there on Western, they named that post office right after
Is that
her.
right?
Yep, they call her the mother of the West
What
Side.
was that? Yeah.
What does it feel like to know that your family was so amazing here on the West Side of Chicago?
It gives you a sense of pride because you get to go places and you actually still see the legacy living on. So this post office actually named after my great-great aunt, Nancy B. Jefferson.
Enacted by an act of Congress.
Yep.
In '98. That wasn't even that long ago.
Yes, I was.
Grandma and them really took care of communities, and that's what I've learned. They have took care of the people in this community, and that's really what I got from my family. And Nancy B. Jefferson had that passion. They really cared for people. And they not just talked about it, but they did. Some people came to live with them.
And then I didn't even know that they had this poster right here, but she taught people how to protest. And her activism, they even had meetings at her house. When they voted for the mayor, they voted at her house. they came to her house to do that. She was a pillar on the West Side. They call her the mother of the West Side.
And when she did pass, there were a lot of people that were there daily. He was there. You had Louis Farrakhan, he was there. Because I attended the funeral. There were so many people there because she definitely made a difference in so many people's life.
That's amazing. Her service to this community has been nothing short of incredible. Yeah. She even has a scholarship fund at my school.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Wow. Let's take a picture. I hope I qualify for this scholarship. I'm gonna tell them I'm a family friend.
Yeah, let them know. Say, Jelly sent you.
Change is a part of life, and the West Side is no exception. In this shifting landscape, so many aim to make change in their community. And as this side of the city develops, the descendants of Nancy B. Jefferson continue to make impact on their block. Change can look like activism. It can be a result of many actions, or sometimes just one action. Change can look like new development, like these townhomes that were built on what was at one point W.H. King Elementary. Just a few blocks away, the DNC will be held at the United Center. While policymakers make change too, we cannot strip away the people's ability to make change as well.
And some change, it represents heartache.
Developing this morning, we now know the name of the woman killed in a hit and run this past weekend. A friend sent us this picture of Angel Thomas. Chicago police say the 35-year-old woman was killed Saturday night near the corner of Jackson and Kildare in West Garfield Park. She was killed.
5, 4, 3, 2.
So on the West Side, you got your good places, you got your bad places, you got your good memories and your bad memories. But today, this is one of the places that brings bad memories. My sister was killed right here. We're on Jackson and Kildare, and she was killed in this exact spot that I'm standing in today. These stop signs actually was not here before she was killed. Her house is across the street. She was walking over, and she was getting in the car, and a car came speeding down this block, and because there wasn't any stop signs, any speed bumps or anything, and this is one of the most busiest streets in Chicago, he was speeding, he hit her and dragged her across the street and he killed her. My sister, she was my role model. She was like another mother. She took me to school with her. She taught me how to brush my teeth. She played basketball, I played basketball. I went to the same high school as her. Like, that was my dog. That was my friend. That was my everything. She had a light about her, you know, like, you couldn't really be sad around her. She was gonna make you smile. And she was going through so much. But somehow she was just, oh my God, ooh. Sometimes,
It's okay. All right.
Okay, what got all of it? What got this stop sign? But before this stop sign arrived here, these young people have they have the cars, the vans, and the SUVs, and they will be flying up and down Jackson. They will be flying up and down Jackson with no control, People and the pedestrians that's crossing in the crosswalk, they still will run the light and it still be speeding. So I happened to be coming down the streets in the 4200 block of West Jackson, 4225 West Jackson. Right before I got to Kildare, I was looking and a car come from out of nowhere and hit the young lady, and he was gonna stop, but then he looked, it kept going. And you would think, you know, if you're a black person, you should want to help your fellow man. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a color, a creed, none of that. It's just that we need to stick together and stop doing all this crazy crap as black people.
How you gonna pick up and say Black Lives Matter when you laying over here and you doing what to your black brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews? You know, that's not nice. And I don't care what nobody thinks, but I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. I couldn't do that.
What do you think will be next, a next big change for the neighborhood? What do you think will be another good change?
Get on this violence, this gun shooting. Our children will not be able to be outside to enjoy their summer vacation in the state.
This is my nephew, and today is his prom. So now, what you gotta say to the people, man?
All I gotta say is that I'm very proud of myself. I achieved things that nobody else can achieve. I'm the first person to ever be a senior in math competition. I'm the greatest in the school.
We tell you that. But we gonna toast. Ooh, fresh salad. Let me see. Turn around. Yeah, he just busted his lip. Oh, all right now, don't play.
Prom send-offs have always been integral in Black communities. They serve as a coming-of-age ceremony that not everyone in this neighborhood gets to participate in. Gary was only 15 when his mother passed, a freshman in high school. He's now graduating this year with top scores for math at his school. He is on his way to prom today. Gary's happiness is infectious. The joy in passing this milestone is shared amongst his family. With his Aunt Jelly being the most vocal support to him.
So I am so proud of my grandson. It's like it was great, but it also was emotional. It was very emotional. Knowing that my daughter's not here to celebrate, to see her son go on prom. But, you know, that's the emotional part, the downside of it. But the upside is that he made it. He got through it. even with the traumatic experience that he had been through, he made it, and I'm so proud of that. I'm just grateful for this day. You know, you just never know the future. You really don't, you know, and I'm just grateful for both of my daughters who has been here to help me navigate this, because it actually has not been easy. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the people who helped, who gave it was just an outpouring of help, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Okay. So today, look at my shorty. You gotta look at my shorty before you look at me. But today we wrapping up. It was my nephew's prom. As you can see, he happy. His energy is good. It makes me feel good because my sister not here, and his dad not here, and so us to be able to come together in my family and smile and be happy, that's the best thing that could ever be. So I'm excited, I'm happy, I'm ready to party now and go eat, but this is a wrap of the West Side Chronicles. Thank you for coming and get a view of my life, and that's the wrap.
This has been a story of community, of joy and of loss, of activism and of change. And while this has only been a short glimpse into the life of Angelica, we hope that you too can be inspired to make change in your city, in your neighborhood, on your block, and in your family. Thank you, with love, from the Kickback Creators Hub.
No 1, 2, 3, no rolling. Like, what are we doing, bro?
That's funny.
Hello, I'm Nana Asabre.
Hi, I'm Allison Bolden, or Allie, or Albie, depending on where you know me from.
And I'm Isaiah Brewer.
And I'm Christian Cole. What was your role on this production?
I mean, that's fine.
Well, I can go first. I am one of the writers and a co-producer, and also a talent.
I was a production assistant and a camera assistant too. So
the greatest.
I try.
My role, I kind of like filled in a variety of roles, but I'd say I was like a script supervisor, but at the same time, like a little bit of production manager, but also like a PA.
I was a director, camera operator, and the lead editor.
What's your reason?
I would say that my reason behind joining this production is we were looking for a finale for the Need to Know, the show that I had produced and been talent in for the past year. And this is our like final piece. This is like everything, our coup d'etat, 100% everything we've been like putting ourselves into to kind of end or put a pause on Need to Know.
My wife for this production was really just I'm still learning bits of Chicago, so just understanding the west side of Chicago and a specific neighborhood was very intriguing for me. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna join this production just to be on the journey and learn.
I'd say I was on this production because I guess I was like requested by Allie, because like for the previous thing I was working on, I was just like a PA, but Allie noticed my gift for like spatial awareness and wanted me to like, I guess, expound upon my gifts and like do much more. Expound.
Expound.
I was asked to.
We needed you here.
They needed me. Well, I don't feel like they needed me. Y'all got a lot of great people.
I ain't stabilized yet. Yeah, go ahead and stabilize it. You gonna keep that lens on there?
Yeah, we're gonna be clap. They clearly had it covered, but I'm glad they thought about me regardless. You know. Plus, I think I got the most like city experience. I'm just grateful that I was able to actually, because I'm from the South Side, but it's on the West Side. You know, and anybody from Chicago knows there's like not a few, but a little bit of a disparity there. And I'm just privileged that she asked me to, because I felt like, you know, they had Christian, but
I was gonna add in, they're not giving himself like enough credit, but
Yeah,
we
he
respect
really
his artistic
did.
vision because he was like the director.
I appreciate that.
So he knows like how to shoot and like how to like put stuff together. And we also trusted him with the whole editing process.
Appreciate
that. My favorite location to film, even though this footage wasn't used in like the initial production, my favorite place that we went was the conservatory in Al Raby High School. It gives you such a unique perspective into the day-to-day life of a young woman growing up in Chicago. And it was just so much fun, such an incredible shoot day. My favorite scene had to be shooting with her mother and her grandmother. Like having 3 generations of a family in one room, and they're reminiscing and they're telling you about the life they live, their community. There's just no replicating that. That was just such a wonderful experience, and it was like so intimate and warm and heartfelt. And yeah, Angelica and her family and her grandmother especially, they are funny.
To piggyback on that, all the scenes with Angelica and her family are basically our favorites to shoot, because they made our jobs a lot easier. You know, they're great people and they're very warm, very welcoming.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's very good. So
I was gonna say my favorite location would be like the garages. So like as Angelica was showing us around the West Side, there's this really cool spot that got gentrified, but they kept like all the old artwork from the schools. So like all these garages had like all these different I guess really cool like custom like paintings and like drawings. And I just thought it was like phenomenal.
I think my favorite location was the post office, just because just seeing her like her family member in the community space was really like a staple moment within the production. Like her plaque is really there, so that was a really cool moment to see and watch and just physically be there.
Anyone you want to thank before we sign off?
Anybody?
Oh yeah, we at the Indigo family want to give a huge thank you to Miss Hermine Hartman.
Oh yeah.
She has been an excellent mentor, just being our rock all the way. And also Representative Nishan Ford for all of the funding and belief in the Black youth that want to seek out a future in media.
And she doesn't have to get enough credit, but we want to give a shout out to the real MVP, Miss Joy.
Yeah.
She put a lot of work and a lot of faith.
Joy Norcell!
Yeah,
she's the real one, the MVP.
The real MVP.
Yeah.
You know, without her, we don't think that we would have been able to pull everything together.
No one contributed more than her.
Nobody. She tries to put us in a space where we're able to grow, and she just keeps those small parameters so that we don't go overboard, but we're always growing and learning who we are as creatives.